Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. Here we can see a preview of this episode. And as always, we start with the unboxing. Here we can see some of my sizes. Feel free to pause the video where you need. In this shot we can see both of them. The stack is around 22 with 12. I didn't find extra info about this, but I'm assuming that this is the stack that they have because it's very similar with the one from DNA 1 and 5 and even Ultraboost 20 that I've seen so far, with the same kind of midsole that they have these ones. And by the way, about these midsoles, well, 1 and 5, they look very similar, but they are not as soft as this one and the one from Ultraboost 20. Those are a bit softer in my opinion. Quick question, am I able to identify which one is which one is from this Ultra Boost M and which one is from Ultra Boost 5, for example, where maybe I won't be able. So the difference is very minimal and I don't think I will be able to say which one is which if I don't have them both in my feet at the same time. What other difference in between these ones and 5, for example? Well, the price. At least here in Europe, there are 20 euros difference. These ones are more expensive. I personally couldn't find big differences that can explain the extra gain in price, but in some ways they are good to have more options, I guess. If you don't find the size in one model, you can find it in the other one and so on, you know. The layer of rubber has around 3 millimeters on the top and at the bottom it has like 1 millimeter. And I wish it was a bit more thicker because on this depends how much they will last. Few months, 1 year, more than 1 year and so on. This midsole feels as soft as the one from Ultraboost 20, which is great. I wish they had a bit more stack, over 30 millimeters. These insoles have the same pattern and the thickness is the same like we've seen in Ultraboost 20, although the best insoles I found it in Supernova so far. Like I said, this insole I like it, but it's too thin in my opinion. It should be a bit more thicker for better comfort. Here we can see the interior and the footbed. As you know by now, we see the right foot also because I want to see if the quality is consistent, and I have to say that in these sneakers I didn't find issues with the stitching or the gluing. We're gonna see here also the external labels that are few of them. You can pause the video wherever you need. In the shot we can see again the sole. Like I said, this midsole is covered with a layer of rubber. They have these holes, they are the size of my nails. I wish it wasn't exposed that foam, but you know, this is how they are, this Ultra Boost. In this shot we can see both insoles, they are exactly the same, no difference in between them. The internal label in this Ultra Boost is on the tongue, as you can tell. Here we can see the size of these laces in centimeters and inches. I have to say about these laces that they are very well done. I like it. The elasticity on them is near perfect, to be honest. The tips are oval shape and they are very tough. I feel them that they will last. So nothing to complain about these laces. I really like them. In the shot we can see the knit on them, very similar with the one from DNA 1 and 5. The padding also is similar, maybe these ones have a little bit less. This knit feels airy, very elastic also. The thickness on this material is quite good and feels robust overall. If you know me by now, you know that I like a bit less padding, so I wish these ones they had a little bit less of that padding. I see that padding useful if it's on the tongue, because some of you they have a bigger instep, so that will protect your feet from the laces when they are a bit too tightened in your feet. In the shot we can see the cage. The black color has around 2 millimeters and the green another 2, so around 4 millimeters where the laces are getting in this cage. Here could have been soft this footbed, but because of the black layer of fabric, it makes it more rigid. That is actually that boost material. In order to make them a bit less rigid, they did make 2 holes, one under the toe box and other one under the heel. But those holes could have been a bit bigger, just to make them more comfy. Now is the time to make a brief measuring of them, just to have an idea about the size of the insoles. That tells us more or less what room we have inside, and the soles that tells us how is the stability with them in general. Bigger on the toe box area and heels are making them more stable. These ones, with the size that they have, they are quite good from the stability point of view. So here we have the weight test. Normally for me these Ultra Boost are lifestyle sneakers. Of course if you want you can use them as running sneakers, but for me are too heavy, to be honest, and they don't have a carbon plate. So, but even so, they did surprise me in this one because of the weight that they have, you know. They usually have over 600, these ones are a bit more lighter, so that's a nice surprise, you know. Although these insoles are narrower in comparison with my feet, inside of the shoe I still had space enough, so I didn't find issues. To be honest, in these sneakers I didn't see the need to go size up, even if you want to use them as lifestyle sneakers, because in Ultra Boost 20, for example, in this size I will use them if I want to use them as running sneakers, but if I want to use them as lifestyle sneakers, I should go for the 42 or 8.5. Well, here it's not the case, you know, this is good enough this way, so I don't see the point to go size up, at least for my feet. I usually like to make this part of the video in real time because I wanted to show you how easy it is to take them on my feet. The opening on these sneakers is exactly the same like in DNA1. It's a bit too small. For my feet, I feel that it's a bit too small. Maybe I have them a little bit more wider, but not by much. You know, I think it's a regular width that I have on my feet, to be honest. Like I said before, exactly the same like DNA 1 and 5, these ones have some padding on the tongue, and I wish it wasn't there, or maybe at least being a bit slimmer, because I can notice that padding. I forgot to say that the logo, although is almost transparent, it is a bit reflective. Later you'll see some shots with the logo exposed to light. After a few seconds having them on my feet, I noticed that the cushioning and the comfort is more or less the same like in Ultraboost 20. Only that padding is a bit too much on the tongue. I wish it wasn't there, to be honest. Here I'm pointing with my finger where my big toe is. It has plenty of space inside, nothing to complain, which is great to see, you know. Another thing that they have in common with Ultraboost 20 or DNA 1 and 5 is that it has that sticky layer of rubber sole. That compound from Continental, I never like it, to be honest. It's too sticky. They feel like suction cups on a clean surface. Like I've said before, they are very comfy, but I already noticed that the padding on the tongue is getting a bit warm. And here in Spain there are plenty of days with heat, so that's why I don't like it very much, that padding on the tongue. They do have a bit better comfort in comparison with the rest of the Ultraboost, because these ones, they are not too narrow. The best in that area, I think they were DNA Web, but those you will need to size up for them. If you are 41, go to 42, or 8, go 8.5 for those DNA Web. You'll see them in a second also. So as I promised, in a few seconds you will see how they look exposed to light. Well, the reflective materials, they are very poor in this case, so that's why 0.5 from 5 stars. Like I said before, we can see here the comparison with Ultraboost DNA Web. DNA Web has a less sticky sole. I do actually prefer that one over the one in Ultraboost M. About the comfort, if I have to choose, I think I will go with the DNA Web. The only thing is I have to go half size up. That's the only difference. They are very close in that regard, in comfort and cushioning also, but I like them as a model a bit more, those DNA Web. I don't know, I just like them a bit more, but I can be happy with either one, to be honest. In this shot we can see how is the reflective materials on them. Obviously the one from web, they are a bit more reflective, and also we can see here the padding that they have on the tongue. On the web they are a bit more narrow, it has a different shape. If you want, you can see it here in a second. It's not a huge difference, but you know, it's there. If you want less padding, you know that DNA Web have a little bit less than Ultra Boost M in this case. The laces on both, they are just about the same. They look very strong, so I like them both, no issues there. So pros and cons. Well, for these sneakers, pros are many things because I did like them overall. The color, the cushioning, the comfort is quite okay. The sizing also is very good. Where I didn't like it, for cons, the price is 20 euros more. I don't know how much they are in United States because I didn't find them there. So my final thoughts, both of them I like them. You choose the one you like them more. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Take care of you and have a nice day.